Welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
to our podcast Classical Discoveries. And now we have a very cinematic, theatrical theme today, Jens.
Once again, we're back to film music.
Oh, I'm so thankful for this, really. So let's talk about this.
So when you think film music, you think John Williams. We say Prokofiev is your guy.
Yeah. I say that Shostakovich is the better Hans Zimmer and Prokofiev is the better John Williams. No, we cannot say this.
Anyone is the better Hans Zimmer.
But anyway, these guys, yeah. I mean, in this era, still the film was very new, no? I mean, not very new, but new.
Ish.
New-ish, yeah.
I mean, the film music that Prokofiev composed is later than some of the film music that Shostakovich composed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we talked when we did our podcast on the film music of Shostakovich's. We were wondering, why is Prokofiev better known as a film composer or as a composer who also composed for film than Shostakovich? Yeah. And the answer, we figured, lied in the director of the films that he composed music for. Yeah. In that Prokofiev had the great fortune to compose music for two major films by Eisenstein, who had been a celebrated director always in the West as much as in the East.
But honestly, I have to say that these are not such kind of big propaganda films, you know, more history films than Alexander Nevsky. And the other one, Ivan Grozny.
Of course, Ivan the Terrible and Nevsky are also propaganda films in a sense.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do like in Shostakovich, The Fall of Berlin.
Yeah, but they have artistic merit, and that's primarily what Eisenstein did them for. That they were then, of course, used and performed in the context of Soviet propaganda. Is different than these specifically made for cultural diplomacy films of Shostakovich's. Yeah.
And always as a composer you have the problem because you have to absolutely follow the film. You have to make the pictures you see, you give a sound to it in this kind, so it's a bit wie sagt man denn, enge, it's a bit
condensed.
Condensed, your ideas already a bit condensed for this.
Although in the incidental music for theater, which we are also talking about today, sometimes Prokofiev actually had already composed the music.
Yeah.
Before the play was written.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the play wasn't written, so we just have the music and we don't have the play.
Yeah. No, but there are also the big, theater pieces like Onegin, Egyptian Night, what is that? Egyptian. I drank nothing today. Okay, Egyptian Nights, or Pique and so on. But less people know about this, you know. Okay, you know Onegin, the opera from Tchaikovsky, you know Pique from Tchaikovsky, but that Prokofiev had to write or loved to write, I don't know exactly, music for that, or was it also something like just for a cash cow to get money for?
I don't think so with Prokofiev, because I mean he also suffered during the Stalin regime, but his position was never as precarious as that of Shostakovich's. Yeah. Partly because he was explicitly lured back into the country as an established composer, and in that sense, Prokofiev was a feather in the cap of the Soviet Union. See, this composer came back from the United States, of all places, to live here and be able to work here. Yeah. So no, I don't think that he had the same motivation for writing for the theater or for the film.
Okay. He came back to the Soviet Union because he found more possibilities there?
No, he was homesick.
He was homesick. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. So I should go immediately to Styria, but we have to listen now a bit, or should listen now a bit, to Prokofiev film music. And one, or let's say one of the, no, it's the famous movie from Eisenstein about this Alexander Nevsky. And I just said the funny, how to say, the funny experience I showed you before, because there is a music in, and it's called Fight, and I already didn't know, for me it's not really a sound like the fight, or maybe kids fighting with their
sticks.
with their sticks or whatever, but it immediately absolutely to another movie 100 years later.
Let's listen to the music and see if we can think of the film.
Yeah. But this funny piece, Woody Allen took it for a film, no?
Love and Death, 1975.
Ah, okay. Love and Death,
his take on the big Russian drama, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Absolutely great, yeah. But later on occurred also more dramatic scenes all in this. But anyway, do you hear some differences now to Shostakovich, or? Prokofiev had his own style, of course, I think.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I do hear the difference immediately.
Okay.
I'm hard pressed to pinpoint exactly why or where. I mean, it's... Oh, and I think this is also because, and this is different, Prokofiev with Eisenstein, they collaborated.
Okay.
Very closely. It was almost like Korngold got to collaborate with some of his filmmakers, where they, which is extremely unusual, sometimes tailored scenes of the film around the music, rather than just tailoring the music to the film. And Eisenstein, who surely had sought out Prokofiev to do this for him, was very conscious of the quality of the music and what it could bring to the film.
Yeah.
So Prokofiev had much greater liberties, I'm sure, in delivering his composition to that project than Shostakovich when he was making music for the Fall of Berlin or something like that.
Of course, but what they all had to common together, they all could use a really big, rich orchestra. Not only a string quartet or whatever. If you remember now on Schnittke, when we had the Schnittke podcast, I mean, he was already also experimenting with totally crazy new instruments or whatever, like vibraphone and all the things at the time.
Money was no object.
Money was no object. No. The film music, the film industry in Russia was a very
highly regarded.
Highly regarded, very important. Also, the communists already. We saw this in Shostakovich. They know immediately to use that for propaganda. Also, like the Nazis, of course, did also at the same time.
Yeah, but no one. I mean, there are other reasons too why we don't watch Nazi films now.
Yeah.
But these Eisenstein films, certainly, those are masterpieces, cinematic masterpieces.
Absolutely.
That we watch on their own merit, and it is completely decoupled from whatever propagandistic value it may have had at the time.
Yeah. But I have to play because I love, this is the second one now, this is the Ivan Grozny, Ivan the Terrible, and I love so much these Russian choirs, Da kriege ich Gänsehaut.
Goosebumps. Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, okay. I learned something more. My goosebumps are growing.
Goosebumps.
Bumps. My goosebumps are growing. I love this Russian choruses, you know, especially with these deep basses. Yeah? But the funny thing is, in all these movies, in these old movies, it was really like in an opera. Some of them, like here also Ivan Grozny, they had an overture. And the overture is then when, at the beginning, when all the actors, the staff, the catering and everything had to be shown at the beginning of the movie, you know, it took already 2.5 minutes. The overture of Ivan Grozny. I mean, today I would get crazy if I have to wait 2 minutes before the movie starts only to read all the names. You know?
Instead, you're watching commercials before the movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of like the time when there were still like pre-movie credits.
Yeah,
they're missing now entirely almost.
Yeah,
Immediately start with the action, and then after 2 minutes they show the title.
At the end, yeah. But
at the end, you have to have it.
Yeah, but thank for the streaming technique, so you always can skip.
I like to watch the credits. Just
really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to know the famous actor or whatever, you didn't recognize the actor, then of course it makes sense. But who is the third or the fourth driver player?
Who was responsible for the hair?
Yeah.
And makeup. I don't know. I like to watch him because I feel like I'm acknowledging people's work on the film, even though I don't recognize the names and I may not.
No, but coming back then, so making film music in Russia was of course of good money and also reputation. But the funny thing is that I always saw it other way than you, because I always have immediately Shostakovich in mind for film music and not Prokofiev.
No, that's just you.
That's just me. Okay.
It's probably related to the fact that you recorded so much of his music, and therefore are quite aware of it.
Or could be. I mean, Shostakovich even had 10 times more of movies he made the music for. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he was a little less discriminate in what projects he would work with, because unlike Prokofiev, he had to work for films.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because that kept him alive, also reputation-wise.
So maybe if the Communist Party come to Prokofiev and say make this and this, he could say no. Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how it actually worked, whether they asked him or whether he was at complete liberty to do projects that he liked and wanted.
Yeah. Well.
But clearly, with Prokofiev, you can see that the pieces that he worked on were things that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, major projects with major artists. Yeah. And Shostakovich didn't have the choice.
Yeah. But the other theatrical things besides operas from Prokofiev is the still nearly unknown incidental music. And incidental music to, for example, here Onegin, incidental music to Pique, then incidental music to Egyptian Nights. Yeah.
Pico Vadama is on that CD as well?
Huh?
Pico Vadama is on that CD as well?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you do have.
Yeah. And of course, incidental music to Hamlet and Boris Godunov. These are really, I'm very thankful, because most of the parts, most of the scores, and this was the conductor Mikhail Jurovsky. He did really a lot of work to get the scores out and also to get the scores prepared, because no one did it before. No one really did it before. And I remember we had a contact in Moscow there, and an older man, he was also copying a lot of this kind. And that time I could already send money to Moscow. Impossible today, you know. Okay, but this was in 2001 or 2002, whatever, yeah. So, and as you said already, in the theater music, Prokofiev really had more creative space for it, because it was not important if a minuet, a polonaise, or a song is now 2 minutes or 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I mean, he was absolutely free to compose.
I mean, it's sort of between film music and an opera. And Prokofiev wanted, I think it was for Eugene Onegin, that he wanted to write a quasi-opera, but he wanted the music to meld with the text being spoken, rather than being sung.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's only logical that these things would have been quite unknown, because I mean, incidental for music for a Russian play that was performed, a couple hundred times in St. Petersburg before the theater company had to be shipped off somewhere else because the Nazis were coming, and then they were actually trapped in another town, and they were deported by the Germans to Paris ultimately, where they continued to then put on plays.
Yeah.
And one of the directors of those plays was then invited to come back after the war to Moscow with his wife, and getting off the plane right away, he was arrested.
Oh shit! Really?
With his wife, and put into labor camps for years. His wife died there.
Okay.
Tough times. And some of these plays weren't actually incidentally written. So Prokofiev had written the music for a play that was going to be made, and then it wasn't for some reason or other. So that's one reason why these stayed quite obscure. And then I listened to most of them earlier today, and I thought, oh, there's another reason why they stayed obscure.
Okay. You think it's bad music?
No, it's not bad music at all. It's Prokofiev after all. I don't think Prokofiev really wrote bad music. But it's not as immediately appealing as, a First Symphony or Piano Concerto Number 3 or something like that.
I don't know if they had a big theater or a small theater, not enough space for the orchestra or whatever. So, and as we know, so many waltzes and whatever from Shostakovich movies. Now we have The Ball from the Queen of Spades from Mr. Prokofiev. Yeah, but in some point it's very similar to Shostakovich. Or the solo trumpet. They love the solo trumpet. Russian love solo trumpet. I don't know. In my countries, I had a Blasmusik. They also love solo trumpet. But in Russia, okay. This was The Ball from the Queen of Spades.
Pique. I mean, it's interesting that you can, through that theater music, compare a lot of how did Shostakovich tackle something, how did Prokofiev tackle something. Yeah. Because you've got the incidental music to Hamlet, and you've got, of course, Hamlet, the film music of Shostakovich. Then you've got Pique, the opera, versus the incidental play. And you've got Eugene Onegin. Yeah. So we could, if we wanted to, play the letter scene, which is so famous in the opera, and see what Prokofiev did with that.
Ah, okay, you're right. We should listen now. A letter scene from Mr. Prokofiev. From Eugen Onegin.
Я, знаешь, няня, влюблена. Влюблена. Влюблена.
And the reason that he wrote all that stuff was 1936, right? So this was immediately upon arriving in the Soviet Union.
Ah, okay.
And it was the 100th anniversary of Pushkin.
Pushkin, yeah.
And of course, Pushkin was sort of pushed to be the Russian/Soviet heroic figure.
But wasn't it then also that we had this Schnittke Pushkin thing?
Mozart and Salieri.
Yeah.
And Prokofiev also thought about writing music to Mozart and Salieri.
Okay.
I don't think he did ultimately, but there's a letter where he mentions that I'm writing, Onegin and Mozart and Salieri and whatnot, and the one reason Prokofiev is to be blamed for all of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Partly because the Soviet Union wanted to distract from the destruction of the churches.
Yeah.
Partly. Okay. So they had to offer, if we're removing God from society, we have to give you something else. We present to you
the
Pushkin.
Pushkin and the poets.
And the foremost fighter against the suppression of...
I mean, at that time, I'm really not a fan of the Soviet regime or whatever.
A few people are.
Oh, really? But in one point, they really took care a lot of culture, no? Sports and culture.
That's like saying Hitler built the autobahns. I don't know.
No, but in our times today, culture is cutting down. So no one is really interested in or whatever in the thing. But they really took care, and they keep all this stuff from the past, all the poets, all the musicians, and all the things.
Yeah, but you can't separate the regimes and its ultimate goals from what they've done. I mean, I don't think. Right, I mean, you have the GDR and art is being used and fostered, and artists are being put on a pedestal, but all at the same time they had to turn in their passports.
Yeah, but which theater today really engage a composer for a new scenery of, I don't know, very little. If you look at the Burgtheater, I mean, it's famous, the Burgtheater, when they need new music, they have one guy, and he's only allowed to have, I don't know, three more persons, a little drum or whatever,
I mean, the times, I talked about it with Frank Strobel actually.
Yeah.
Back in those days, every movie theater had its orchestra. I mean, we're talking in the 1920s, 30s, where the big movie theaters had fixed orchestras that numbered 100 players. Yeah. They were better paid for the Orania Palast, Filmpalast in Berlin.
Yeah.
They were better paid than the Berlin Philharmonic at the time.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Well, so he told me, and I believe it. Monies were allocated differently, but people, of course, also ran into those films.
Yeah.
And
they also had more performances than the Berlin Philharmonic.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, they were playing day in and day out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still film music, of course, and orchestras are being hired to perform music for films. And
yes, especially also in Vienna and Bratislava, there are a lot of Hollywood productions.
Absolutely, they
make the music to the films.
Several orchestras here that perform regularly the scores for big Hollywood productions. Big Island Orchestra
And this is also an interesting point and a very good point, that this kind of classical music for most of the people is something, I never listen classical music, but if they're sitting in the cinema, then suddenly, I don't know, Harry Potter or whatever, this is all classical music, the soundtracks are all classical music.
They're still in that tradition from Korngold onward, and based on the classical tradition.
Absolutely,
And they'll listen to anything in films. It can be wild, it can be atonal.
Yeah.
As long as you have a picture, as long as your attention is focused on something else, your ears are much more open than if you had to sit in your chair and concentrate on quote-unquote difficult music.
Absolutely.
So in that sense, it would be interesting really to listen to that music while watching the films, or less likely see a play performed.
Yeah. But also, if you don't have the possibility to watch them, you also can listen to them. So what we else have...
No, by all means, do run out and immediately purchase everything there is. Prokofiev on the Capriccio label.
What we also have here, for example, now is Egyptian Nights. This is very interesting. This is the story between Cleopatra and Antonius. And of course, then there's also, I think he could sich austoben. He could now battle.
Really go for
himself. Go for with the battle of.
It doesn't sound super. I don't know. First of all, I wouldn't know what Egyptian music would have been at the time.
Yeah.
Something like Miklos Roja would have composed, I guess. But he does include the saxophone a lot. Which of course the Egyptians were famous for.
The Egyptians are very famous. in one of these pharaoh graves they found the saxophone already. Egyptian Night. So this is also a Pushkin theater play, no? Or on a
Well, a play by Tyrov, based on Pushkin's
based on Pushkin,
novel,
yeah.
The Egyptian Nights. Yeah.
And they really spent a lot of money for a new scenery, for new costumes, for new people. You know, it's a bit like before we had Humperdinck, the Miracle, or so. I don't know.
Big stage plays.
Not 2,000 people on stage, but 1,500 or so.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it. I don't think it's possible to see it. I don't think there are any films or any snippets of it.
So
we just really have
it's
the
a
music.
theater staging, yeah.
Incidentally, the music, and I think we listened to Cleopatra's Dance.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound so much like Salome dancing. It reminds me, in small phrases, continuously though, of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And we have to listen, because we had such a focus on Shostakovich and Hamlet. We had to listen a bit piece from Hamlet.
Right. And incidentally, I say incidentally quite a lot. Romeo and Juliet was composed right around that time.
There are songs from Ophelia. They're really beautiful. You can also take them out for concert. 4 songs from Ophelia. So beautiful, also beautiful voice. But this remember me a bit to Cordelia from King Lear, Shostakovich. That we also had this beautiful song of Cordelia.
Yeah, but these are really specifically gorgeous. I mean, those are...
Yeah. Wonderful voice and wonderful pieces. You also can take them out and play it on a concert.
Those would be very nice in concert.
Yeah, the songs of Ophelia from Hamlet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think we had now a short overview.
Very rough, yes.
Very rough overview. Yeah.
We've only shared part of our vast knowledge about this subject.
Yeah. The other knowledge comes then in 10 years. I hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. You can find all these recordings online on whatever, Spotify, iTunes, or whatever you like to re-listening it or listen it in complete.
Re-listen to it, right?
Yeah.
And we'll come back one day for the Prokofiev symphonies. No?
Of course. A lot to do, much to do. Thank you very much that you joined us. See you next time.
Take care. До свидания.
До свидания.